Good morning, I am Naresh Mago. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to be on a 2-day visit to Tamil Nadu and Lakshadweep from today to launch multiple development projects worth over 20,000 crore rupees in Tiruchirappalli this afternoon. Sale of electoral bonds begins today. SBI authorised to issue and encash bonds through 29 branches. Government extends tenure of production-linked incentive scheme for automobile industry by a year with partial amendments. Record 8 crore 18 lakh income tax returns filed so far in current financial year. Joint military exercise Desert Cyclone between India and UAE begins today in Rajasthan. And in women's cricket, India to take on Australia in the third and final ODI in Mumbai this afternoon. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be on a 2-day visit to Tamil Nadu and Lakshadweep beginning today. Mr. Modi will reach Tiruchirappalli in Tamil Nadu this morning, where he will attend the 38th convocation ceremony of Bharati Dasan University. In the afternoon, the Prime Minister will take part in a public program where he will inaugurate, dedicate to the nation and lay the foundation stones of multiple development projects worth over 20,000 crore rupees related to aviation, rail, road, oil and gas, shipping and higher education sectors. Mr. Modi will also inaugurate the new terminal building of Tiruchirappalli International Airport, built at a cost of more than 1,100 crore rupees. Our correspondent has the details.
Prime Minister will inaugurate the rail, road and other infrastructure projects in the state. Multiple rail projects connecting the southern districts will be inaugurated today. 5 national highway projects which will facilitate commercial activities to important centers and also to ports in the state. Prime Minister will also lay foundation for 4-laning road from Mugayu to Marakanam connecting ports in the East Coast Road. Mr. Modi will dedicate the general cargo berth 2 of Kamarajar Port and lay foundation stone for petroleum and natural gas projects worth more than rupees 9,000 crore. The projects include a long multi-product pipeline which will pass through Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra, Kerala and Puducherry. Mr. Modi will also dedicate the demonstration fast reactor fuel reprocessing plant at Indira Gandhi Centre for Atomic Research at Kalpakkam, developed at a cost of rupees 400 crore. Joy, Akashvani, Chennai.
Afterwards, the Prime Minister will reach Agatti in Lakshadweep, where he will address a public function. Tomorrow, Mr. Modi will reach Kavaratti in Lakshadweep, where he will dedicate to the nation and lay the foundation stones of multiple development projects worth more than 1,150 crore rupees related to sectors such as telecommunications, drinking water, solar power and health, among others. The sale of electoral bonds will start from today. They will be sold through 29 authorised branches of SBI till the 11th of this month in Delhi, Haryana, Punjab, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, Uttarakhand, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Odisha, Bihar and West Bengal. The Ministry of Finance in a statement said that in the 30th phase of the sale of the bonds, SBI has been authorised to issue and encash electoral bonds. We have a report.
The bonds will be valid for 15 calendar days from the date of issue, and no payment will be made to any payee political party if the bond is deposited after expiry of the validity period. The bond deposited by the eligible political party in its account will be credited on the same day. The bonds can be purchased by Indian citizens. Only the registered political parties which secured not less than 1% of votes polled in the last election to the Lok Sabha or the Legislative Assembly of the state will be eligible to receive the electoral bonds. With Anand, Anpamish, Akashvani News, Delhi.
The notification for elections to 3 seats of Rajya Sabha from Delhi and 1 seat from Sikkim will be issued today. Nominations can be filed till the 9th of this month and polling will be held on 19th January. Sanjay Singh, Sushil Kumar Gupta and Narayan Das Gupta of Aam Aadmi Party are completing their term this month. Hishe Lachungpa of Sikkim Democratic Front is completing his term next month. The government has extended the tenure of production-linked incentive PLI scheme for automobile and auto components by 1 year with partial amendments. The Ministry of Heavy Industries in a statement said that under the amended scheme, the incentive will be applicable for a total of 5 consecutive financial years starting from the financial year 2023-24. The disbursement of the incentive will take place in the following financial year 2024-25. The scheme also specifies that an approved applicant will be eligible for benefits for 5 consecutive financial years but not beyond the financial year ending on 31st March 2028. As per the amendments, if an approved company fails to meet the threshold for an increase in determined sales value over the first year's threshold, it will not receive any incentive for that year. However, it will still be eligible for benefits in the next year if it meets the threshold. This provision aims to ensure a level playing field for all approved companies and safeguard those who prefer to front-load their investments. The gross goods and services tax GST revenue collection last month stood at 1,64,882 crore rupees. The revenue for the month of December in 2023 was 10.3% higher than the GST revenues in the same month previous year. The Finance Ministry in a statement said that out of the total GST revenue collected for the month, Central Goods and Services Tax CGST collection is 30,443 crore rupees. State Goods and Services Tax SGST is 37,935 crore rupees. Integrated Goods and Services Tax IGST is around 84,255 crore rupees and the cess is 12,249 crore rupees. The ministry added that the GST collection has witnessed a robust growth of 12% with a collection of 14.97 lakh crore rupees during the last 9 months. A record 8 crore 18 lakh income tax returns ITRs have been filed so far in the current financial year. This is 9% more than the total ITRs filed in the last fiscal. According to Central Board of Direct Taxes, around 7.5 crore ITRs were filed last year during the same period. The Finance Ministry said to encourage taxpayers to file their ITRs and forms early, over 103 crore outreaches were made through targeted email, SMS and other creative campaigns. The e-filing help desk team handled over 27 lakh queries from taxpayers to support the taxpayers proactively during the peak filing periods. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has urged the citizens to take Jan-Man survey on the Namo app and share their views on the progress achieved by India in the last 10 years. In a social media post, the Prime Minister asked the people to share their feedback directly with him using the hashtag Jan-Man survey. The survey is an excellent platform for people to voice their opinion on the nation's progress and development. This is Akashvani giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. The joint military exercise Desert Cyclone 2024 between India and the UAE will begin today in Rajasthan. The fortnight-long drill is aimed at enhancing interoperability by learning and sharing best practices in urban operations. The Ministry of External Affairs said potential areas of bilateral cooperation in the defense field include the production and development of defense equipment, joint exercises of armed forces, particularly naval exercises, sharing of information on strategy and doctrines, and technical cooperation in respect of intermediate jet trainer. The first ever India-UAE Joint Air Forces exercise took place in September 2008 at the Al Dhafra base in Abu Dhabi. The Vikasit Bharat Sankalp Yatra is garnering overwhelming response across the country. Under the Yatra, the information, education and communication vans with the aim to disseminate information about the central government's flagship schemes are traversing through the nook and corner of the country. In Bihar, the Yatra is providing a platform to people to avail the on-spot services of several welfare initiatives. Our correspondent reports that through the campaign, beneficiaries from different hamlets and villages are turning up at the event sites to share their inspiring stories.
यही समय है, सही समय है, भारत का अनमोल यही समय है. The journey of Viksit Bharat Sankalp Yatra has crossed several miles in different villages and towns under this ambitious campaign. So far, more than 4,500 events have been organized in the rural and urban areas. The series of testimonies of beneficiaries under Meri Kahani Meri Yuvani during the campaign also catalyzing other people.
मैं अभिषेक कुमार डीएनए रिटेल एंटरप्राइजेज का प्रोप्राइटर हूँ। जो मुद्रा लोन मुझे मिली वो भारतीय स्टेट बैंक से मिली और मुद्रा लोन प्रधानमंत्री जी के कारण मिला। आके नवयुवक को भी ये रोजगार में बहुत सहायता प्रदान कर रही है प्रधानमंत्री मुद्रा लोन। आपको बिना मॉर्गेज का, बिना कुछ कोलेटरल का, बिना कुछ गारंटर का आपको 10 लाख तक आपको लोन अवेलेबल हो जाती है हर एक बैंक में।
विकास कुमार, सुरेश किराना स्टोर जो कि भगत सिंह चौक के पास ही है, और मैंने एसबीआई एडीबी बैंक से लोन के लिए किया था जो कि बहुत ही आसानी से मिल गया और कोई तरह का असुविधा महसूस नहीं है और मैं मोदी जी का बहुत ही आभार प्रकट करता हूँ।
The ongoing Viksit Bharat Sankalp Yatra is also exploring new insights and information about ground realities of government-sponsored schemes in the state. धर्मेंद्र कुमार राय, आकाशवाणी न्यूज, पटना।
नए भारत को गढ़ने का यही समय है।
In Japan, at least 8 people have died after a massive earthquake struck the country on New Year's Day. The quake, with a preliminary magnitude of 7.6, struck Ishikawa Prefecture on the main island of Honshu, prompting residents in some coastal areas to flee to higher ground as tsunami waves about 1 meter high hit the country's western seaboard. The authorities are struggling to assess the full extent of the disaster that wrecked buildings and roads and left thousands of people without power in freezing temperatures. 1,000 army personnel have been dispatched to the worst-hit area in the country's relatively remote Noto Peninsula, but rescue operations have been hindered by badly damaged and blocked roads. One of the area's airports has been forced to close due to runway cracks. According to the Japan Meteorological Agency, over 90 tremors have been detected since the quake first hit yesterday. The agency has warned of more strong shocks could hit in coming days. Israel's Supreme Court has struck down a disputed law passed by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government that rolled back some of the High Court's power and sparked months of nationwide protests. The law was part of a broader judicial overhaul proposed by Mr. Netanyahu and his coalition of religious and nationalist partners. The court said this law causes severe and unprecedented harm to the core characteristics of Israel as a democratic state. Mr. Netanyahu's Likud party termed the Supreme Court's decision as unfortunate and said that the ruling opposed the will of the people for unity, especially during wartime. Cold to severe cold conditions are likely to continue over Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh and North Rajasthan during the next 2 days. The India Meteorological Department has forecast dense fog conditions over Himachal Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, West Bengal, Odisha, Sub-Himalayan West Bengal and Jharkhand. The IMD has also forecast dense to very dense fog over some parts of northwest and east India during the next 3 days. In women's cricket, India will clash with Australia in the third and final ODI match at Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai today. The match will start at 1:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Australia have already taken an unassailable 2-0 lead in the series. Meanwhile, the Indian men's under-19 team will face South Africa in the trilateral ODI series at the Old Edwardians Cricket Ground in Johannesburg today. Earlier in their first match, the men in blue defeated the Afghanistan under-19 team, the third member of the series, by 6 wickets. And now for a look at today's newspapers, it's over to Ramya.
Thank you, Naresh. ISRO begins 2024 with flawless ExpoSat launch, reports The Statesman. After US, India's second country to send dedicated satellite to study black holes, notes The Times of India. As TMC's 26 internal rifts exposed, State Minister admits corruption in party, Didi summons nephew is a headline in the Asian Age. Japan counts the cost as quake rocks West Coast is a headline in Hindustan Times. 2023, second warmest year recorded in India, reports The Times of India. 32% decline in number of active terrorists in J&K, says The Statesman. Modi Gallery set to open next week. Ram Temple to Article 370 to Ujjwala, writes the Indian Express. And finally, it's praycations time as holy towns see massive surge in bookings. Under that headline, Business Line reports that hotel chains and travel portals are focusing on pilgrim centers as religious tourism takes wings. And with that, it's back to you, Naresh.
Thank you, Ramya. And before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to be on a 2-day visit to Tamil Nadu and Lakshadweep from today to launch multiple development projects worth over 20,000 crore rupees in Tiruchirappalli this afternoon. Sale of electoral bonds begins today. SBI authorised to issue and encash bonds through 29 branches. Government extends tenure of production-linked incentive scheme for automobile industry by a year with partial amendments. Record 8 crore 18 lakh income tax returns filed so far in current financial year. Joint military exercise Desert Cyclone between India and UAE begins today in Rajasthan. And in women's cricket, India to take on Australia in third and final ODI in Mumbai this afternoon. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.